This is video 3 of the Four Horseman strategy guide and will include all the boss mechanics. Before the pull, the Four Horsemen will be standing horizontally on this stage. The tanks will pick them up and move them to their respective corners. At 20 seconds and every 12 consecutive seconds, the Horseman will place a mark debuff on anyone within 65 yards. These marks stack and deal initial burst damage, but no damage over time effects. At 1 mark, you will receive 0 damage. At 2, 250, 3, 1000, 4, 3000, and 5, 5000. The goal is to not let any players in the raid get any more than 4 marks at any time. If the bosses are tanked perfectly in their corners, there'll be a safe spot in the center, extending from the second top step down to the front of this stone. So the perfect spot to stand while you're waiting is at the base of these stairs. The first boss, Thane, will cast a Meteor that deals splash fire damage. I think it's 14,000 damage. That can be absorbed by the DPS, tank, and the healers. So everyone will need to stack for this. Moving over to Lady Blamo. She will drop a Void Zone every 10 to 12 seconds. And every 1 second will deal 2500 shadow damage. So if you're stuck in the Void Zone for any more than 2 seconds, you're dead. Because of this, the tanks will need to do some handy-dandy footwork and try and keep the void zones in this section here without extending too far out, as if the boss is too far out, the marks will affect the people on this side of the room over here. Meanwhile, the 2 healers, one healer will be standing here, and they'll be moving forward, sidewards, backwards, trying to keep the void zones from not extending further out than this stone if possible. This healer will be standing somewhere about here. Same deal, try and keep the void zones here. The reason is we want a clear passage through the center for when the DPS and tanks are moving in and out, so they don't have to run through the void zones. Sir Zeliek will cast Holy Wrath on any target that's within 35 yards. If Sir Zeliek is tanked perfectly on diamond, and the tank should be standing somewhere about there, then the healers can stand in the center of this Y intersection. They'll be perfectly 40 yards away from the tank and out of range of the Holy Wrath. This also means that when the mages and hunters come in to DPS Sir Zeliek, they'll be standing at around this intersection. The last horseman, which is Morgan, will put a spell on the tank which will deal initial 4800 fire damage, which can be resisted, and an also dot over time. So he's the hardest individual hitting horseman.